Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I'm your host, Hery Acosta. Happy Monday, everybody. First video of the week. It's been a few days, obviously, since I recorded since Friday. But here we go. Like and subscribe for more content like this. Now, there might be some construction noises outside. There is a little bit of construction outside my house. But try our best to not have to deal with that a little bit. Good start, already doing that. But let's get straight into it. First things first. This is not really like big news. I mean, this is not shocking at all. Halliburton was at a WWE event. Jeff Teague was also attending. Seems that Halliburton had ignored Jeff Teague, but are we really surprised? Jeff Teague does nothing but bash the Pacers over every little thing. Jeff Teague just bashes everyone over every little thing, actually. And we know his tenure with the Pacers wasn't the best, but this is a guy that is from Indy, went to Pike, coaches at Pike, and has been an Indy guy his whole life. Obviously, played in Atlanta, played in Milwaukee, played all over the league. But, as a guy you're from this city, you grew up watching this team, and now you're just one of the biggest haters of this team, when in the last few years they've done absolutely nothing to you. Just because your tenure wasn't the best doesn't mean you can just bash the team on live TV where you're supposed to be a journalist, you're supposed to be unbiased. Just talk basketball. Don't just bash everybody just for your own sake. But, I don't blame Halliburton for this whatsoever. I feel like anybody on the Pacers would have done the same thing. I feel like a lot of people in the league would have done the same thing. Anyone on the Fever would have done the same thing. So that's... Now, if T comes out and starts talking about it, don't even worry about it. Pacers have a way of dealing with their things, and we don't really gotta listen to this guy anyway. He's not a real journalist whatsoever. He's just a former basketball player who feels like his opinions are more valid than anyone else. So just don't worry about him. Now, next, James Johnson. He is still training with Pacer teammates. Now he doesn't have a contract with the team. And he's still technically a free agent. But every now and then he does practice with his former Pacer teammates. You'll catch him in the courts and his everything. I don't mind him coming back. Now, if there's a roster spot that's available for someone who will actually play, obviously give it to them. But if we have 14 players on the roster and you don't really need that 15 spot, give it to James, because you know what he brings to the table. He's a bodyguard. He's there to back up his teammates at all times. He's going to be the first one to celebrate with his teammates. He's going to be the first one on the court when there's an altercation. That's what Johnson brings to the table. Now, he's also a good player. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's entertaining to watch him play whenever he actually gets those minutes. And, just overall, it'll be a minimum deal. So he's not really looking for big contracts. This is the construction I was talking about, by the way. And, he's just someone that you will want to have on your team, just because everyone needs that brother or that friend that's always has their back. You have their back, and, just someone you can trust, someone who's there for you, someone who, if you need him to step in, he's going to step in, whether it's actually basketball or, the Bucks are doing something stupid again. So, that's that. And now, this is one I want to talk about a little bit, just because I've been seeing this from not just Tyler Hero and not just the Heat in general. A lot of teams have came out and started talking about how interesting the Pacers' philosophy is and just how good the team actually is. Now, there's a good chance Hero was mainly talking about last season when we made it to the finals, about how we have like the perfect offensive scheme and perfect offensive model. And he's right. I think the way the Pacers flaunted their offense was very good. Just spreading the floor, spacing out. Halliburton has the ball most of the time. Now there's other times where Nembhard has the ball most of the time. Or Siakam creates his own shot. Nesmith's catch and shoot. Turner spacing the floor. It can be in the paint. It can be out the three-point line. Just how we played it last season was about as perfect as it could get. Obviously, we had some struggles. Our turnovers in the finals were pretty bad, especially in games 1 and 7. Our turnovers were just despicable. It was over 20 in each game, which you can't really win a game. Now, yes, we won game one, but that last game of the season, our defense had pretty much shut down the Thunder. The Thunder were not playing good, but because we had over 20 turnovers, we literally shot 15 to 20 times less than they did, and it just wasn't good for us at all. Obviously, ended up losing that game. But obviously, there's always going to be some things that every team has to step up. That was our big one. Our big one is just keep the ball. We've seen it we see it in football. There are teams that have very few turnovers, while there are teams that all they do is turn the ball over. And I'm probably gonna give a little shout out. I do want to talk about the Colts a little bit after I talk about Kyle Guy, just to kind of continue to talk about indie sports. Now, Kyle Guy, another Indianapolis guy, someone who was Mr. Basketball at Lawrence Central. He's back in the NBA. He retired last season, only at the age of 27, to be an assistant at Virginia, where he won a national championship. But after a season, now he's back in the NBA. He signed an Exhibit 10 with the Pacers, but he's going to be playing for the Boom just to kind of rebuild his career and see where he can, go from there. But he was a former 55th overall pick. He's played for the Heat and the Kings. Hasn't really done too much. Now, he hasn't really gotten the chance. He's been mainly in the G League. But we know what he's capable of. We saw how he was in high school. We saw how he bounced back from being the first number 1 seed to lose with number 16 seed to right in the next year winning the national championship. We've seen how he bounces back. This could be a really good opportunity for him. My voice is kind of lost for a little bit. This could be a really good opportunity for Kyle Guy, and I'm hoping the best for him. I gotta root the indie guys, unless they're Jeff Teague, of course. But I root for him. I hope he does well. He did go to one of my rival high schools, but we'll put that aside. But good luck to Kyle Guy. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit about other indie sports, just because why not? It's Monday. First and foremost, congratulations to the Fever on a great season. You did everything you could. I mean, the injury list on the WNBA team was insane. I mean, you had 6-7 players out, including Kelsey Mitchell in that third and fourth quarter. Aaliyah Boston fouled out in the fourth quarter. So you had a five of Odyssey Sims, Lexi Hull, Brianna Turner was playing those big minutes. It was not really a lineup that you would tend to see in a semifinals, but the team played its heart out, and I'm very happy for them. Most likely fell to the eventual champions because the Aces are playing very well in the finals right now, up 2-0 on the Mercury. Now switch it over to football. The Colts are now 4-1 after an absolute beatdown yesterday against the Raiders, 40-6. Daniel Jones, props to him, looking great so far. Jonathan Taylor now has 7 total touchdowns in 5 games, 6 on the ground, 1 receiving, and he's got a 2-point conversion. He leads all non-kickers in points with 44. And this is just it's fun to watch indie sports now. We have young players that carry the big load on each team. Obviously, we have some injury issues, but it's been fun, being an indie fan over these last season and a half. So let's just continue that. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby, and go, Sirs.